Welcome back to another episode of The Last Game Hunter Does.
No. Mm-mm. No. Hell no. No. I refuse. No.
Okay, guys. In a video in the past, this is part of the Dreamcast series. I'm getting back to it because I need to finish it up, and it has definitely been longer than it should have been. A lot of you people asked or said I put my fan in backwards, and I did it wrong. So, I think I did a good job, and I think that it's probably working better, but because everybody has said something, I am going to test with the FLIR, see the heat, then I'm going to go grab, actually, no, then I will reverse the fan on this, because if I go grab another unit, I don't know if that would be fair, because this is the Noctua fan. So I will flip it, test it again, and see what the heat is. So in this case, this is taking air in, going through the unit, and out. It would probably be going out in numerous spots, or is it just the one? Yeah, so it would be coming out here. Or any other spot that leaks. So in, out. In the original setup, it would be bringing air in and sucking the heat out. I'm hoping that I'm blowing the heat or the cold air through and the heat out, and that there's less temps here than there is here. So, in order to do that, I need, of course, to turn the machine on, have it running for at least 20 minutes, and I will do a thermo test as it is reversed. And then we will do another 20 minutes flipping it to the factory way and see if I'm right or maybe I'm wrong.
And we could get enough money to buy a SEGA Dreamcast. SEGA Dreamcast?
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about or show everybody is this part here doesn't really get hot, like ridiculously hot or anything like that. And I have the fan, like I said, pulling air in because it goes straight at the power supply. Now, the Pico power supply still gets pretty warm. It's an upgrade. It's definitely better, but it does get warm. It utilizes less, energy or whatever to function. It's got less parts that are going to go wrong. So the air comes across here, bounces off the case, and goes out the back. That is why I put it as pulling air in. So what we're going to do is I'm going to turn it on for a while, thermo just this piece here to find out what it's like with the case off, which is not ideal, but it will heat up more than it would if the case was on. So the air movement ain't going to be as good. So the idea behind that is I will know what this heats up like outside, just like this. Turn this down for obvious reasons. Crazy Taxi's running in the background. We're heating up the power supply, which is the main thing I'm wanting to cool. We are at, looks like 40 on the hotspot, 42. So 40, 42 on the hotspot. Now I'm going to put the case on. So now it doesn't need to be screwed as long as it's all back in place. I can feel the air coming out the back already. So it looks like we're getting a high of about 43 average. I'll just let it run for a little while longer and check that. Okay, so it seems to be hanging around the 41, 42 average. Okay, so now we're going to reverse the fan. Oh, I wanted to see the actual heat coming out the back while it's still hot. So about 24 inside. You can feel that little bit of warmer air. Not crazy warm, but you can feel it. All right, so now we're going to take it apart, swap the fan, and see if my theory is right or wrong. I'm known to be wrong. Temps went down when I kept the case on a little longer, but that's not how I'm going to do it. So, all right, let's turn this off and unscrew. You guys are watching. It was like this, and now it's like this. I had to bite into the fan because it was never done that way yet. All right, so at least that was nice and easy and to swap. All right, so now we're going to do the, there, now it's pulling out. And now we have no air here. So I'm going to do my first test, which is testing the temps on the board after it's on for a while playing a game. Let's get Crazy Taxi back up. Heat's starting to get in. It does move some decent air. But now I don't feel anything here. 45. And we expect it to get a little hotter because now there's no air even with the case off going this way. So I don't blame it for that, but 45. Let's put it on just a little longer, just double check. It just hit 46, but I'm going by what I did the first time. Okay, so now we're putting the case on. And now I feel air, of course, coming out the side. I think I feel pull. I'm going to wet my finger. Not really. So I don't know if it's doing a good job of pulling or not, but we'll find out in a few minutes. Averaging 25. Yeah, averaging about 25. Now I'm going to check the side here. About 25. 26. 26.3. So we're going to call an average of 26 even on the side. Now let's check our little friend on the inside. $50. Hard to keep it on the chip. When I first took it off, it hit over 50. And now I've seen 46, 47. So it's been off for a little while now. There's 50 again. So we're going to call that 50 degrees. Okay, and if I was going to give it like any better average. Yeah, see, it's hitting 50. No, there's a huge difference. Okay. I'll put a chart up just to show everything so it's easier to me saying it. I'm going to turn my fan back around to intake as I set it up. Yeah, there's a lot of air, guys. There's a lot of air that comes across here. So in the end, I want to say in this situation, I am right. I can't always verify that it's going to be like this, but if you're using the same fan, the same power supply, and this mod, which again doesn't really get hot, it's going to be cooler ramming the air into the system and running it back out the back. So guys, to summarize this, with the case off, the fan still taking air in, we had 42 degrees on the power supply. With the case back on, we had 42 degrees on the power supply. 24 degrees coming out the back, and 23 degrees here on the side. Now, I didn't expect the side and the back to really alter a lot, but it did. Not a lot, but it altered. So with the top off, fan blowing out the way factory was, the way everybody says I should have done it, was 45 degrees. So that was 3 degrees higher than when the fan was blowing in. 50 degrees with the case on, blowing out factory. 50 degrees. Guys, that is 8 degrees more than what my intake. 25 degrees to the back, it went up 1 degree. 26 degrees coming out, which I expected here, because now it's trying to take the heat out. It went up to 26, which was a difference, or a higher, 3 degrees higher. And that was expected. I like I said, here and here is going to be like close in each way, but here is the key, and the key was to cool down this power supply. And guys, intake is better than exhaust. It's exhausting out the back. It's taking in fresh air right here, moving the cold air across the product, not dragging cold air-ish, and then becoming more hot than it's supposed to be, as it proves here with the numbers. So I hope this helps anybody cool their system down better, or maybe you're not having the issues, but I believe taking air in, going over your main component that's running the system, keeping it cooler by 8 degrees cooler than having factory style out. Thanks for watching. Game over.